Alrighty. So, hopefully you guys can see me down here in the corner and my desktop. Nice tree thing. Um, Let me know in chat if you can see/hear me. Yeah. Oh, it's over there. Okay. All right. Let's not do that. Alrighty. Latency is actually not that bad. Oh, sweet. All right. So then, I don't know. I think there's like 4 people watching. Alrighty. So then, we are going to be fixing a bug with a thingamabob. Super descriptive, isn't it? Hello, Wellen, WELN. So, what we're going to do is I have this package right here, XFCE4 desktop service. And what this does is if you have XFCE running and you you don't have Thunar installed, but you do have desktop icons enabled, then those desktop icons don't work. You can see things, but you can't do anything with them. What this package does is it gives you all that functionality without having to install Thunar. It doesn't matter what your file manager is when you have this installed. However, there's a bug, and I can actually quickly demonstrate this bug. So if you give me 1 second here, all I got to do is go and here, actually, display. Alrighty, Badoo, Badoo, Badoo. Alrighty. Let me know if you guys can't read all the code because I want to make sure you guys can at least, see what I'm doing. So, if we go down here and I do /tab because it's the only file in the folder, shaboom. All right. And then we go to settings because I don't have desktop icons enabled because of this reason. And so this right here, the minimized application icons will work because it's basically like having it's basically like having minimized icons, except the only thing is it's on your desktop. It's not like you have an actual desktop file. This, however, does not work. But I just enabled it. Close. All right. So we're going to tab over real quick. Give me 1 second here, guys. Well, XFCE has decided it wants to try and hide all of my stuff today. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to quickly do that. Aha. All right. So then, as you can see over here, I have a bunch of desktop icons. They're kind of hidden right now because of the panel being in the way. But what I can do is, for instance, I can open my trash now. You couldn't do that before. But there's an issue. Let's say I want to make a folder. little window pops up saying, hey, what do you want to name this directory? But what if I want to go and create a document? Let's go with just empty file. There's nothing. So this is our problem. We can't do multiple things at once. So I need to fix this because I want users to be able to go, oh, I want to be able to make a file and I don't know what I want to name this thing right this second. So let's make this file first and just leave the window open. Now, of course, as soon as you exit that, the thing you requested happens pops up, but I want multiple things to be done simultaneously. Now, I don't have a guarantee that this will work. So I have two screens. It makes things like this nice. All right. So then, let's see. Where was my aha? Alrighty. So this is the file that we're going to be working in. This is the only file that has code running, which is kind of thankful because if I had multiple files I had to dig through and figure out where I wanted to put this, it would be a nightmare. So then, there's 3 ways of doing this. And that is, very simply, there are 2 libraries that I can use to multi-thread this. I can use either the threading library or the MultiProcess library. Now, I'm not going to use either one of those. I'm going to use the OS library. Now, there's a reason for this. The threading library, the threading library, I can't use the whole CPU. So it's basically just going to be using like 2 threads on a single CPU core, which on some CPUs that are super old, that's going to be the whole CPU because it's a single core CPU with dual threads maybe. But in today's world, that's not going to be the case. So I want to be able to use a little bit more CPU power. The multiprocessing library, however, does allow me to do this. But what I'm going to be using is a function called fork. And the fork function is actually pretty simple. So I'm going to open up this terminal real quick and show you guys what I mean. All right. So let's say that I have an if statement that I want to do, and I want to call a function, for instance, and have the function run in the background. And I've predefined this function. What I can do is import OS. Now, what I can do is if os.fork equals 0. So what the fork function does is it takes your process and it duplicates it. And it takes one of those duplicated processes and puts it on another CPU thread, and that's our child process. It takes the other one and it leaves it exactly where it's at, and it lets them continue running. Once it's returned, the fork function, it will either return 0 or none, I think. That's what we're getting ready to test right here. Or it'll return the process ID of the child process. So if it returns 0 or none, it's the child process. If it's the process ID, you're the parent process. So I can use this little if statement right here to see, oh, I'm the child process. So if I'm the child process, then let's say I want to do os.listDir. And let's do else os.chdr, which is going to be equivalent to cd on a command line. And let's go into desktop. Ta-da. So our forked process has exited. And what I can do now is I can call os. Oh, there it is. I have to type it in twice. This is weird. Okay. Oh, I know what's going on. So because it's forked, I'm typing this into two different um, Python interpreters simultaneously, so I have to type it in twice. Oh, great. Oh. All right, then. That's fine. There we go. And I can see. Well, I don't know why you did that, but okay. But we're going to give it a shot anyway. The reason I want to do it specifically this way. You know what? There we go. Okay. The reason I want to do it specifically this way is our system installer right now is also written in Python, and it uses the multiprocessing library. However, in the future, I'm thinking about converting it into C++. That way I can get even better performance. However, I don't know if there is any library that I can use in C++ that'll allow me to multi-thread in the same way that Python has. However, I do know that the fork function exists in C++ because it's something inherited from C. So I'm going to learn how to use this fork function now in Python. Then later on, I'll use what I have learned here to inform how to write my code in C++. All right. Now, thankfully, I just imported the whole OS file earlier, so I don't need to go import or from OS import fork. So I already have what I need. Actually, there is something I do need to import. So this might come back and might be in the butt later. But from MultiProcess, I think that's the right one, import, well, actually, I don't know what the name of the function is. So I can figure that out. So down here in my terminal, import multiprocessing, dear multiprocessing. So what the dear function does is it shows me all the functions and classes defined in a library. And that can give me an idea of what a library is capable of. And I am looking for a specific function that gives me the number of threads in or on a given CPU. The reason I want that is because let's say we have a dual core CPU with no hyperthreading. That means we have two threads. I don't want to overwhelm this CPU with like 2,000 different processes just to be able to do this desktop thing. But at the same time, if I have, say, one of those new Threadripper processors that has like 32 or 64 cores and 64 or 128 threads, I want to be able to take advantage of that because I could probably spawn 2,000 processes. And with how small this program is, because we're looking at 560-ish lines, is not going to be taking up everything. So I need to find a good balance, and the best way of doing that is I need to figure out what the number of threads on a given CPU is and just spawn a new process into or onto each thread. That way I'm taking advantage of all the threads of the system, but I'm not overwhelming it. Now I know I could probably double that up, but each of these processes is probably going to take up about 3 to 4 megabytes of memory ish. So on a dual core processor, that's going to be taking up 6 megabytes of memory, which isn't a lot. But if we're talking about a system that only has a gigabyte of memory, every megabyte counts. So we got to watch it. So it looks like I know it's in here somewhere. CPU count right here. So then, multiprocessing dot CPU count. Okay, good. So I have a 4-core CPU that's dual or multi-threaded. So I have 8 threads. So thankfully, this multiprocessing CPU count counts the threads, not the cores. Which, if you've ever done this kind of programming, you'll know that a lot of these programs have that issue where they see threads as cores, and that's not quite the case, because if you've ever compared a CPU, like let's say you have an 8-core CPU and a 4-core CPU, but that 8-core does not have hyperthreading, but the 4-core does, while the software is going to look at that and say, oh, it looks like I have 8 threads on both. Yeah, you have 8 threads, but you don't have 8 cores. And a thread is not equivalent to a core. It's not the case. So then, from multiprocessing, import CPU count. Alrighty. So then, I am going to go down here, if file manager. All right. So then all I have to do is find file manager. Now this function right here is, it looks like what this function is doing is it's setting up a dbus event loop and hooking into the file manager service that XF Desktop is expecting to exist. So I don't want to modify this more than I absolutely have to. So instead of modifying this function, I'm just going to create a new one. So let's do def. Oh, let's see. Part of me wants to do execute. This is part of programming right here, figuring out what to name your functions and classes and variables. It's a pain sometimes. Part of me wants to do execute, but I don't know if that's going to obfuscate another one. Yeah, it does. So we'll just do normal execute. And then we will do thread count. Thread count. There we go. All right. And then so what I'm doing right now is I just want to make sure that this is being called correctly. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I need to do that. Okay. So I don't know if you guys know, but there is actually a Python programming style that is defined by the people who manage Python, the Python Foundation. The styling is called PEP 8, and I absolutely hate PEP 8. However, I can't ignore it. If I follow PEP 8, it will make it so that other programmers, if they come in to look at my code, it will be a little bit more readable. So I'm trying to follow PEP 8 despite how much I hate it. So one of the things they say in PEP 8 is if you're not inside of a function or a class, make your variables all caps. So I have to make my variables all caps. Yeah. Anyway, so boom, exit out of my Python interpreter and do that. All right, so we're getting a true. So let's make sure that it's getting what we want. Thread count. Eight. Awesome. All right. So then we have our thread count and we have a function that we can use to do this with. So what I'm going to do is make a processes array. The reason I'm going to do this is because I'm going to make another flag so that if somebody wants to, they can kill this service. Now, because it's going to be forking itself multiple times to the background, the easiest thing for me to do is to be probably make a file that contains all of my process IDs. And then once my parent thread exits, have it write these process IDs to a JSON file. And I'll get into why a JSON file later. So for right now, what we're going to do is, oh, hello there, Lightning. We're going to have it write to a JSON file. Now, I'm going to have to make another process for that, or not process, function, sorry, but that's okay. And some of you may notice that there is actually a vulnerability in doing that. And I will get into how we're going to fix that vulnerability as we're writing it so we don't have that issue. All right. So then, here's what we're going to do. For each in range thread count. Alrighty. So what this is going to do is it's going to loop a certain number of times. And for each loop, what I want to do is, let's see, PID. So PID is short for process ID. And I actually should make this lowercase so that PEP8 is being followed correctly. OS dot fork. All right. So then I can do if PID equals 0, file manager. Do I need to pass anything? No. Okay. Else. And then I want to do processes stop append PID. Now, I don't have to set PID equal to 0, but I'm doing it anyway just to be safe. Actually, let's set it to none. All right. So then, that's going to loop however many times we need and fork everything over. Now, in order to make sure that when these get done, they don't come out of File Manager and start looping and make more, we're going to have it exit. Or make more processes, sorry. So do I have the sys function pulled in? RV standard error. So what we're going to do is import sys. So the reason I'm doing this is because Python has a function that's built in called exit. And I don't want to obfuscate exit. So instead, and it's better in PEP8's all-knowing mind to use sysexit for whatever reason. I just thought about it would be easier just to call return because this would not do anything else. Alrighty. So then return none. There we go. Easier. I'm still learning like all you guys. It's just, some people are farther along than others, and I'd say I'm probably somewhere in the middle of the path of learning. So I come up with one idea, figure out that it's the harder way, and then, oh, hey, let's do this easy way. Alrighty. So now we're going to have all of these process IDs in our processes array. So then, what I want to do is I need to import another library. Yay for importing libraries. Import JSON. Okay. So the reason I'm using JSON specifically is because this library, if I pass it, I forgot if I need to pass it a file path or a string. I think it's a string. Yeah, it's a string. If I pass it a string which is formatted in JSON, then it will return a dictionary which follows that JSON format. So then, what I need to do after that for loop, because this is our main parent process, we have a bunch of child processes right now, is, let's see, processes is equal to processes. Okay. And then I can show what this is doing like that. By the way, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing or why I'm doing something, feel free to leave it in chat. I'll respond. There's a little bit of latency between what you guys are seeing and what I'm seeing. So it may take a couple minutes, but yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to drop it in chat. All right, so this is probably going to screw over my system. I don't have anything running that's Python, is it? I don't have any processes named Python. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I still have that done. Okay. All right. So then we'll run that. Badoop. Fatal IO error 06. GTK, why you do this? This right here, ladies and gentlemen, this right here makes 0 sense. Casper, I like cats, but I can't be around them because I'm allergic. So, yeah. Anyway, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of those times where I don't like programming, but I love it at the same time because it's so stupid. Alrighty. So then let's. Oh. Fatal IO error 11, resource temporarily unavailable. Ooh. Oh, yeah. So the X server does not like it when I have something multi-threading trying to call it. But you know what? That's okay. It can get wrecked. We'll deal with that later. Alrighty. Um, brain thinking. Um, hmm. I need to do p grep. Why you do this? XFCE4 desktop service. Okay. Let me check my thingamabob over here. Well, it appears. So I'm looking at my system processes right now just to make sure that I'm not, murdering my laptop more than I need to while streaming. It appears that it decided not to fork. And I'm guessing that's because when the first child process forked, wait, how many of those were thrown? Oh, great, now I can't go back and look at them. At least 3 of these were thrown. No, at least 4 of them were thrown. And there were a number of others. So then that tells me the main loop at least tried to do something. See, XFCE and X11 do not like multi-threaded things interacting with them. So it's very possible what I'll need to do is take the naming GUI and properties GUI classes over here and split them out into separate files elsewhere, which I can totally do. It just not what I wanted to do. I was wanting to leave everything as a single file, but if I have to split them out, I can. Do I want to do that, or do I want to work around it? I don't know how to work around it. That's the thing. All right, ladies and gents. Oh, sometimes. No, I don't want that. Open with template. Where's my Python? There it is. New with template, Python. Okay. Badoom. Alrighty. Can we just do that? Yeah. No. Shush. And where is it? Oh, there it is. I'm blind. That's why I got glasses. USR share Badoom. There we go. I have a feeling that I just highlighted way too much. Did I? I didn't. It's a big class. Alrighty then. Shaboom. Properties GUI. GitHub, XFCE desktop, USR share, badoom, save. Alrighty. They're different files now, for the most part. I got a couple functions to move over. So these two are basically just helper functions. I can call the function, and what the function will do is this one specifically is very important. I just call the function, and it shows the GUI for me. I don't have to do all this other stuff that the function is doing. But then it will also return the name that the user wants to set a file or directory. So that's good. The show properties GUI, it shows a file or folder's properties. So they both take arguments, which means I'm going to need to be able to pass arguments to both of these files. But I also need these functions in this file. I just need to redo them. So what I'm going to do is just copy them. So that's the naming GUI one. And this is the properties one. There we go. All right. So then, from some process, import popen. Okay. So this one, because it needs to return something, it would probably be better if I did that. Okay. So okay. What was that? There it is. So this little line right here, if you have a Python file and you're importing it as a library, this little name variable right here will not be equal to main. If you are running a Python file as a script, it will be equal to main. So what we can do is, if we want a Python file to work as both, what we can do is we can add this little line in here, and if it's imported as a library, whatever this is doing won't be run. If there's an else statement, that'll be ran. But I haven't seen that before. You could hypothetically do it, but yeah. I just need that right there. So then I can go here and do that. Okay. If we're doing that, all right, is there any other libraries? Oh, yes, there are. There are libraries I need to import. That's okay, though, because then this will take up less resources. I don't know if you guys need it. You know what? We'll just do it all. And you will probably need sys as well. So the sys variable I'm going to use to view command line arguments. So then, what I'm going to do is show naming GUI sys.argv1 sys.argv2. There we go. Okay. So what this is doing is, if this is ran as a script, what it will do is it'll take the command line arguments that are passed, and normally arrays start at 0. But in this case, sysargv, that array at 0, it shows how the script was called. So if you did, if you called sudo on the command line, if it was written in Python, then its sysargv0 would just say sudo. But if you did that, then if you called specifically usr bin sudo, then sudo's sysargv0 would say usr bin sudo instead of just sudo. So I don't care about sysargv0. I don't care about how I was called. I just want these two arguments. And the good thing is, if I don't have all my arguments passed, this is going to throw an error for me, which we will handle here in a little bit. But if somebody else is coming in and trying to use these for some other thing, they are going to have to figure this out for themselves. I already know it because I made it. So now this, have I imported sys yet? Yes, I have. Okay. Show properties GUI sys.argv1. All right. So now I got these taken care of. Have I got, yes, okay. So now I can go down here. No, there. Okay. So then, am I importing all of OS? I am. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check and make sure that these files exist before I call them. And the reason I'm doing that is because if the file doesn't exist and I call it, it's going to throw an error. And I don't want to throw an error because it doesn't exist. Instead, I just want to like not call it and just set a default value so that we don't have things breaking when the users try to use this. So if OS path exists, so this is going to be at USR share XFCE4 desktop service. So USR share XFCE4 desktop service, and we're looking at naming GUI.py. Little known fact, USR, that folder, it does not stand for user. USR stands for Universal System Resources. So there you go. You learned something today, if you didn't learn anything from my coding. All right. So then, because this one actually calls something from some process, open p open, check output. Good. Check output. Now, all I have to do is tell it I want you to call this file and pass it content type and file name. Else, so this is what I want it to do. Hang on. So name is equal to that. Okay. So this is what I want it to do if it doesn't find that file. And what I'm going to do is, so in naming GUI, if I go to init, so right here, I can use this to determine what I want over here. Boom. Return name, and it's done. So what that'll do is whenever I call show name in GUI, it will check for this file right here, and if it's there, it'll call this file, passing it the arguments that were passed to this function. If it's not there, then I'm going to check to see if content type, this variable right here, is set to file. If it is, then we're going to set name to untitled file. If it isn't, and it's set to directory instead, we're going to set it to untitled folder. And then we're just going to return name. Now, because of the way this is written, it will only either be file or directory. There will be no folder or file descriptor or cat or dog. There won't be any of that. Because I'm the one writing this, I know it is going to be passed either file or directory, nothing else. All right, then. So next up, this has already been pulled over as well. And thankfully, it doesn't, this does not return anything, thankfully. So all I have to do is basically pull this right here down. And instead of doing this, I am going to use popen. Now, the reason I'm using popen is because popen, whenever it calls whatever is being done, it calls it in the background by default. And I want that because this will make it so it's able to do a little bit more at one time. The check output, it calls it, but it's not in the background. It's as if you're calling a function, so it will like go and start running this code and it'll wait until it returns, kind of like what your command prompt does. But I need to rename it to properties GUI. Hopefully I'm spelling this right. Okay. Now I don't need any of this. I need to pass it file path. All right. Now, what do I want to do when that file doesn't exist? Because we're not returning anything. So, since we're not returning anything, we can't set some sort of default value. Because I can't set a default value, my options are either throw an exception, exit, or return none. If I throw an exception, then that'll at least let the user know that this thing right here ain't happy. But if I throw that exception, then this entire thread will halt. But if I just exit, then it's not letting the user know that anything's going on. It just kills a thread. But if I return none, it doesn't kill a thread, but what it does do is at least let the user know that I'm unhappy. But they won't see that unless they've manually called it on the command line. And most of the time, users won't be calling this on the command line. That'll be handled by, where's my folder thing? That'll be handled by this file right here. This checks to see if we're actually running xfce. And if it's there, it calls this file. If it's not, it does this little eprint thing where it prints to standard error and then exits. So what do you guys think? Should I just exit? Should I print out an error? Should I throw an exception? What do you guys think? Because I'm leaning towards an exception, but I'm not sure about that because I don't want to kill the thread. Hmm. Tell you what I'm going to do for right now. I'm going to save. And then, while I wait for you guys to get back to me on what you guys think I should do, I am going to go down here. Well, I should probably do for right now just do that for right now. Because, yeah, I don't know if I want to throw an error. I mean, I could hypothetically log an error. And if I log the error, they're somewhat more likely to see it because it's at least being written to a file, not to just the void. But if I log an error, the chances of them seeing that, while greater, it's also taking up their disk space. And I don't want to take up disk space without absolutely having to. Well, I got an else statement handled. So what I'm going to do now. All right. Oh. Ah. Alrighty. So I pulled something out I wasn't supposed to. There we go. Yay! We did it correctly. How many processes do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ha! All right. We have 8 processes. Search. Python. Heck yeah. Look at that. Now they're taking up more memory than I was hoping for. So all together, that's taking up somewhere around 80 to 90 megabytes of memory. Oops. 80 to 90 megabytes of memory isn't terrible. Let's see. I bet you that what I can do is take all this. No, I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try. Oh, it did work. Oh, whoever wrote kill. Smart boy. Let's see, who wrote kill? So it looks like Albert Callan wrote kill to replace a BSD utils one that was not standards compliant. Ah. Okay then. Well, I learned something today too, guys. So, that man, smart. All right. So then, I need to bump this version up, don't I? All right. So we have this processes dictionary being written out. What I want to do now is json.dump processes. See what that gives us. Well, this is probably from the stream. On the bright side, all of these are working. And I can literally just kill each one of them. Can I? Yes, I can kill them in bulk. Thank you. Kill all 7. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So then JSON.dump is expecting another positional process or thing. What is FP? All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to learn how to learn things in JSON, or not JSON, learn things in Python. Help. JSON doc. Oh, what if it's... I feel like an idiot right now, guys. So the JSON library has a load and a loads argument, or not argument, function, and a dump and a dumps function. And since I pulled in all of JSON, I have all of them, which is good because I'm going to need them. I need dumps and loads. That's about it, but that's okay. Well, JSON, you idiot. I just want to dump it to a file. Let me dump it to a file. That's okay, because I needed to know that this was happening so that I can fix another bug elsewhere in some other code. All right, ladies and gents, we are going to go learn. All right, JSON, Python, JSON, write to file. Reading and writing JSON to a file. Alrighty, writing JSON to a file. Oh, so this is how I'm supposed to do it. Guys, I feel like a real idiot right now. All right. So then what we're going to do is, let's see, there is an etc file, isn't there? Yes, there is. But that's an XDG. Okay. This doesn't require any configuration of its own. So then, let's just, put it in here. So then, with open, blah, 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 blah. Out file. Ah, dang it. Okay. So then processes out file. There we go. Now, right now, this is going to throw an error because that folder does not exist, but we can fix that. Sudo make dir copy that, paste. Really? I'm surprised it didn't actually make something or throw an error. Oh, yeah, it did. Never mind. There we go. Alrighty. So then sudo ch own backcastle do that so that I can edit this. chmod 777. Okay. So now it's rewritable, so it won't throw any stupid errors. Alrighty. Child, I gave you what you wanted. Maybe, just maybe, let's kill all these real quick so that I don't murder my computer more than absolutely necessary. I have 16 gigabytes of memory. I shouldn't be worried about 100 megabytes, but I'm worrying about 100 megabytes despite taking up only about 4 gigs right now. This is why I use XFCE. All right. Boom. Now let's go looking for our missing file, shall we? And I bet you I can go, well, let's, no. Boom. Boom. There we go. Hey, we got a file. What do we got in it? Oh, well, you know what? That's okay. Okay. So now for the fun part. I have all of these running right now. So let's write a function to kill it for us. Now, actually, let's close that real quick. I mentioned earlier that there's an exploit in that. Okay. So while I am pulling in stuff, I'm going to explain what this exploit is. So this exploit, someone could very easily make that file. Let's say somebody broke into your computer, right? And they didn't have sudo level privileges, but that folder existed, and they could read and write to that folder. So what they could do is they could make that file, and they could very easily write, say, 1 in that file with the processes thing. And what that would do is it would try to kill process 1, which is process 1, if I'm not mistaken, is whatever your init function is. For most people, it's going to be systemd. For some other people, it may be sysv, it may be startup. You get the point. So they could then just wait until you run that command with root privileges, and then you basically kill your system. So we need to prevent that. So def terminate. All right. So then, all right, guys, you get to determine the future of this project. Should I use -t and --terminate as the flags that I want to call, or -k --kill as the flag I want to call in order to kill these? What do you guys think? I'm just waiting on you guys at this point. See, this is latency right here. Latency, I hate you. Why didn't I put the stream on low latency? I know why. It's because I wanted you guys to be able to read the code. Really, Casper? Really? Cat? Cat. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. While you guys duke it out in the chat, I am going to go and elif. Well, Casper, the chat's not delayed. It's what you guys see. So there's the reason I don't want to do cat is because think about it. XFCE4 desktop service cat. That doesn't correlate to what we're doing at all. But you know what I'm going to do? Just for you. Just for you. There we go. All right. Give me 1 second here. argv1 equals dash whatever. I don't know about that, Casper. I think a little mouse dude might not like the cats. Let's see, or argv1 equals, and we'll just do that for right now. Wait, not argc. Gee, thanks for warning me, guys. And then that would be terminate. Processes is equal to JSON wait with open and grab basically all this. Boom. There we go. Read. In file. JSON dot loads in underscore file read print processes. Oh wait. And then I want to do processes there. There we go. Now, I'm sorry, I'm OCD. There you go, Casper. There's your cat for you. This service serves floofy cats. Ta-da! Alrighty. So then, I'm going to need to, well, no. I'm going to want to remove, not leave that in. Up here, I want to do I thought you would like that, Casper. Let's do print starting fork %s at PID %s. Okay. Each +1. And then we want to do PID. All right. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically printing out, hey, we're starting fork number whatever at PID whatever. And the reason I'm doing specifically each +1 is because this range function right here, it counts from 0 up to but not including the number that you pass it. So we are passing 8 right now. So what it would do is each would be equal to 0 through 7, but not including 8 as it loops. So like on the first loop, each is equal to 0. Second, each is equal to 1, and so on. So what this would do is starting fork 1, because 0 + 1, at PID and the process ID. And because we know this is the parent, because we checked for that 0, it'll print out the process ID of our child process. That way, people don't have to call that XFCE4 desktop service -K or -T, because guys haven't told me what you want it to be yet. So, but they don't have to. They can manually kill a specific one if they so choose. So, in our terminate thing over here, do we have a file existing? Yes, we do. Let's get rid of that real quick because I hate that. All right. Let's see. So right now I could do --. Okay, so we get that. Get the exact same thing, and it's not removing it yet. If I'm not mistaken, the remove command is in OS, so I should be good there too. Okay. So now I'm going to iterate over our list processes. Okay. So right now, if we look, the name of all of these is Python 3, right? But I can't just search for Python 3 in case the user is working on something and they haven't renamed it, or there's another app running that's named Python 3, because we could accidentally kill that. So I need to rename these. So, oh, hello, that Kyle. Let's see. I want. I actually have a function somewhere where I do this. Give me 1 second. Is equal to xfce4 desktop service. Blah, 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 blah. Let's just check really quickly and make sure I can actually set it to that. I should be able to, based off the length of that one and that one. I've learned that process names have something of a limited length. So yeah, that's a thing. All right, so I need to go find this function. Yay! I get to go digging through my own source code, trying to find things that I know I've done, but I don't know where it's at. All right. So I'm thinking here. Which one would be in? It's not a Mirai. Mirai has C++ and no Python whatsoever. I want to say this, the system installer, but I don't know for sure. And I want to say time tracker, but I'm not sure. Let's start in here. This is going to be in share system installer. Daggone it. Okay. So I have to go over here now. Come on. Sheesh. I will deal with you later. Alrighty. Let's see. Python core. Alrighty. Engine display. It's not an engine. Is it an installer? I mean, it may not even be in here. So, get wrecked me. And like, I know I've done this before. Wait, I know where it was at. I feel like such an idiot right now. Do I have that pulled? I don't think I do. Let's see if it's in time tracker real quick. Display. Hey, there it is. So yes, I had to write this function myself in order to do what I wanted to do. All right. And I think that right there is all I needed from it. We're going to hope. Okay. Set proc name xfce for desktop service. All right. Since you guys still haven't told me whether you want it to terminate at the -t, which would end up being dash terminate, or -k, which would end up being dash kill, I'm going for K. So -k dash kill A B C D E F G H I J K. -k dash kill. There we go. Oh. Oopsie daisy. $289. Boom. Boom. So that's not right to begin with. Process each dot name. And I actually did this somewhat recently. Process boom dot name. Yes, okay, good. All right. Name is equal to that. Oh, come on. Then, all right. How do I kill a process in Python? That's our next big question. Let's see. How to kill a process Python. OS kill. Okay. Alrighty. So then it does that. We don't have to edit the processes variable. And then we want to do, after that, os dot remove that. Now, I can already tell you guys there's a possibility of an error here. If somebody calls that kill command and that file isn't there, it'll just throw an error. So instead of doing that, what I want to do is a try catch loop. Don't get on me for using spaces here, guys, instead of tabs, because let me tell you something. I hate using spaces too. I want to use tabs. Pep8 says use tabs. I'm using tab. Or not. Pep8 says to use spaces instead of tabs. I'm using spaces instead of tabs because Pep8 demands it. Except file not found error. Do I have eprint? I do. Good. Boom. Alrighty. How much spaced over is the help thing? It's actually space. We're gonna do that. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Alrighty. So then, we still have all of them running. And dash dash kill. And, well, now they're still running. Is the file still there? No, it is not. I am concerned. Oh, wait. I know why they didn't get killed. Oh, sometimes, guys. sometimes I question myself. All right. Now then. There. And you know what? While we're doing this, print cat didn't steal my. Well, actually, yeah, it did. You got a point there. Killing process each. There we go. All right. We go over here. Yes, XFCE4 desktop service. And it has the full name. I'm so happy right now. Alrighty. No! Why are they all still there? And it didn't print anything out either. Oh no. Alright. Debugging time, guys. Print name. See, the other problem with this is somebody could very easily just keep making these and then they can't kill them all. That's an issue they have to deal with. Alright. It's not getting the full name. Why you do this? All right. So what we can do to work around this is that. So what that will do is if XFCE4 desktop-s, which is apparently what this right here is returning, even though we can see very clearly over here the name is set fully, it will still match up and kill it. And if this right here ends up getting fixed to show the full process name, then it'll still equal true and kill it. So that way we don't have to fix it if in the future this bug is fixed. So for now, we are going to kill all of these all over again. All right. I'm going to trust it. I should have done that. Oh well. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not like overwriting it or anything. It's overwriting it is not appending. Yeah, we're good. Okay. OS kill. Kill takes exactly 2 arguments, 1 given. Well, what is kill expecting? Okay, so then import OS help OS dot kill. Oh, it wants the signal. Okay. So then kill dash dash help. Send a signal to a job. Send the process as identified as a PID. Okay, then we want sig term. All right, we're going to assume that it wants it as a string. And is the file still present? It is. Good. Okay. Okay, then what is the thing for. All right, guys. Here's signal number sig term. Sig term is signal number 15. Alrighty then. So instead of using sig term, we want to use 15. And I'm betting good money. Yep, the file is there. It works. Alrighty. So then, boom. All right. So we have it forking, throwing off the PIDs. We got our processes running. Now, my big question is, I just thought about that. If we're multi-threading it like this, then are all of them going to respond? Create folder. Unbound local error, local variable name reference before assignment. Okay, then. So then, show naming GUI. Wait, what? I am very concerned right now. All right, let's recreate that error real quick. Create folder. Line 257 in show naming GUI return name. Return name. Yeah, it is 257. Okay. But name is supposed to be set. Well, on the bright side, wait. What? Ah. So then I'm just going to set this to untitled right now. What? What? What is going on here? All right. Create file. What are you expecting? Create file. That's what I was wanting. And it said 115. Names equal to name 0. Why did I do that? I am very confused right now. Okay. We're going to go here. Copy these two over to here. Go here. How long have we been going? Jeez. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? That still works. Create folder. Type error, expected string, bytes, or OS, stop, path-like object, not none type. Where... It's so helpful. And thus the debugging continues. It might very well be that I just can't do this like I'm wanting to, which is going to seriously disappoint me. Naming GUI. So this is going to return a bytes-like object. Decode. Okay. You might be. Granted, it's been going for like 2.5 hours, and cam's getting a little bit warm, but it's not too bad. I don't know, Casper. My camera might be a little bit delayed with the audio. I don't know. It might just be the camera is a bit delayed. Of course, it could also be where my resources at. Yeah, my resource usage does seem to have gone up just a little bit. And my memory usage is definitely up. So that could both be it. Could also be my network connection here. So, yeah. Great. Fantastic. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Doing that decode thing, that doesn't need to return anything. Let's do this as a throw. Oh, it's raise. All right. We're going to throw an exception. Raise exception. Cannot show properties. Properties GUI unavailable. All right. So in order to induce that, at least, I'm going to... We got it over here. Yeah, good. Delete that. All right. Yay! Exception. Cannot show properties. Properties GUI unavailable. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I still have 8? I should have had fewer than that, but okay. I can get behind that. All right. So now let's try doing properties. Properties, permission, allow executing. Can't believe I forgot to do this. Make sure that it's set. I have issues with setting multiple executable things at once. I don't know. All right, let's try that again, shall we? Properties. Hello. Did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, they might have all just frozen up. Okay. That is a lie, sir. There is a module named GI, and you know it. Alrighty. Oh, alright. Wait, did the memory usage basically didn't do anything? Okay. Alright. Let's try this again, shall we? And I bet you it's going to say the same thing. Yes, it did. Why are you saying that? GI is totally a thing. I'm importing it here. Why can't you see it? Okay, then. Well, part of it might be these are trying to run as Python, not Python 3. Rip me. Alrighty. Let's try this again, shall we? Don't do this. Oh, properties GUI needs magic. Yeah, guys, my properties GUI, he uses a little bit of magic. It's so magical. No, not there. That one. Replace. And what new error have you got for me this time? So how's everybody liking quarantine? Is it meeting your expectations? Hey! It doesn't look the prettiest, but you know what? It didn't in the first place. Alrighty, wait. Why? Why is it still running? No, this isn't right. Alright, fine. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to. Well, it isn't taking up any memory, so I'm not going to worry about it. Hey! So we got our properties GUI going. And show naming GUI. Alt. Close. Quarantine is going good. It's just stressful that I go anywhere as much. And I always have to wear a mask everywhere I go. Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, I was actually watching a video yesterday, and the dude was talking about. So, obviously, nobody wants to get corona. It sounds pretty bad. I've seen pictures of like, there was this one dude, he was like pretty buff, and he got corona, and he went from being ripped to basically average, maybe a little bit less, because it tore away at him, and he even had like a little tube coming out where he had to have drainage done. Um, but a good reason for why you want to wear the mask, um, that I heard was, think about it like this: if everybody went around not wearing pants, somebody could very easily pee on you. Now, if they were wearing pants, you know, more or less likely the pee would stay with them. But, if you're both wearing pants, nothing's getting on you. So you want to wear a mask if you can. And if you don't have one, but if you don't have a mask, then, stay home. You can make a mask for dirt cheap. Um, and yeah, it's scary. Just to think like this guy was in great health, and and it took a serious toll on his body. From what the research shows that I've done, I'll take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not some sort of health professional or anything like that. Uh, Biology isn't even my major. Um, from what I understand, the people who are most at risk are those with asthma and those who are older. And the older you get, the more it affects you. And that's not to say a newborn infant won't be affected. It's just everyone encounters some form of a coronavirus because the flu, the cold, um, SARS and MERS, um, the one that causes the mouth sores that a lot of people get. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Herpes. Those are all a type of coronavirus. The coronavirus, however, it's still a coronavirus, but it's different. Um, the more you encounter them, the more you are affected by them. Because what kills you is not so much the virus, it's your body freaking out that it's infected by a coronavirus. So people about my age, 20, yeah, we're going to be affected by it, but not nearly as much as somebody who's like 60, 70, 80. So you wear a mask to protect the ones you love, especially the elderly, but also to protect yourself. Oh, I would just go away. My mother is interrupting. All right. So let's uh let's get back to this, shall we? Alrighty, but it killed all those. Yeah, my CPU is not happy right now, and I don't care. It can suffer. Alrighty. So we got our properties GUI working. So yeah, I agree. Let's see. So it looks like I need a getter function. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to leave all those in there, and then I'm going to do def get name self. So that self lets me access all the global. It's not really global, but all the class variables, and that lets me do return self dot set name. All right. Window dot get name. All right. So that should help a little bit. I hope it should. Okay. I've saved that. And we want to go here. Naming GUI. Shaboom. Shaboom. Paste. Yes, replace it. All right. We are not running any of it. You dirty liar. Well, you're not lying, but you know. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. Else in check output. Boom. For some odd reason, the naming GUI it's returning stuff, but for some odd reason, it keeps returning that none thing. And I don't know why. So let's try this real quick. Let's try to manually run our naming GUI. And we want to have a folder. None. That's something I need to watch out for right there. So okay. So that gets me thinking a little bit. It's returning that. Why are we returning a list to begin with? So this I want to do really quickly. Okay. So then so create file. I see what's going on here. For some odd reason, I was doing that 0 thing because of this thing. So let's pull that out. I don't need to do that because that's redundant. All right. So then okay. Let's try this again. Create folder. So for some odd reason, it's not wanting to work. Let's do because in check output, what I can do is this. From sub-process import p open check output. Okay, and then I'm going to replace that with none, and this with file. So something's writing true. Ah, right there. And that's useless stuff I don't want. Let's go here. Replace. Good. Okay. So it's doing what it's supposed to. So I want to pull off that last one. So I should be able to do that. So in a string, or an array actually, you can reference multiple things at once by doing like number colon number. But if you don't have a number on one of those sides, it assumes all the way to the end. And by doing that -1, I'm referencing the last element in the array. So in a string is an array, and that's what I'm basically getting back here. But because it goes up to, but not including that element, I'm cutting off that last character. So I'm cutting off that new line. And shaboom. Yep, awesome. Now I just need to make sure that this right here does not take care of that. Name. Ba-do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, it doesn't. Good. All right. Okay, so something's going wrong here, and I don't know what. I don't know if you guys can see this, and it's not going to let me blow it up for you. Type error. So in there, name when name minus one equals one. Two five two. Hold on a second. 252 is right here. That file totally exists. Why are you... Okay, let's try copy. Neat little trick I've learned. Okay. The file exists. Why are you going and acting like it's not? All right, we're going to test this. Import OS. You're getting a true. I'm so confused. Why? You shouldn't be going to 252. And what's really getting me is it keeps going to the check output. I wonder. I'm going to kill them all. I killed them all. And not just the men. The women and the children too. Please tell me you guys get that joke. Actually, it wasn't very much of a joke, was it? The reference. All right, so now it should be running in single-threaded. Why? This doesn't make any sense. Hmm. Well, I do want to check one thing though. Wait, I can just go there. Okay. Are we at least heading in the right direction? Well, that's not even popping up. Create document. Config file. What do you want to name this file? Create document. Markdown file. Nope. All right then. Exit. Exit. Yep. What? Delete. That's an utter lie. Open a new window. It's right there. Right there. All right. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can actually do what I was wanting to do, which kind of sucks. Not without having all the threads communicate with each other, which is beyond my pay grade right now. Thankfully, I can just go Control Z. Everyone enjoy the show. It's like what, 2 hours of work is being completely undone. That sucks. And you know what? We've been doing this for like 2 hours. So, I guess for now, what I'm going to do is delete. Sir, I own that. Why can't I delete it? Okay then. Oh, come on. All right. So, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get the multi-threading I was wanting, which really does suck because it might have been able to fix this, but it only looks like it's going to be single-threaded for now, which I know a lot of people are going to hate. But you know what? Delete that file and delete that file. There we go. So then, thank you guys for chilling with me, I guess. We didn't get to fix the bug, unfortunately. So that kind of sucks. But I will figure out how to get all these threads communicating with each other. That way they know, hey, are you taking care of that? No? Okay, I will. So, yeah. All right, then. Well, everyone, have a good one. And